Dear morning. Good morning, dear friends, dear guests of the forum, dear participants of the session. Today it's very early and we are opening the forum of Russia Islamic World, and we are present at probably the most important event here, the interaction, the cooperation of Russia and Islamic world. Tatarstan is the motherland of the probably the most northern Muslims, and we are the venue for cooperation with our partners. The venue, this event is attended by many countries of the Islamic world. We see our friends from those many countries, and today I'm very happy to see our guests who convened in our hospitable city, which is probably the feature of most Islamic regions. Today, this venue is going to devoted to the role of young people, entrepreneurs, building cultural and economic ties at the international level. Since the geopolitical situation is such that it is important for Russia, for our partners, Russia has always been a most important center of cooperation, of exchange of information, receiving technologies, and a huge market. So these issues are becoming more and more urgent nowadays. And looking at the panel of speakers, I hope that we'll have a very interesting dialogue, because we have representatives of the governments, the representatives of business, educational institutions, and we're going to speak about, first of all, about what is cooperation of the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs in these countries, what is being done at the government level, at the private business level to foster this cooperation. Are there any real results? And we're going to look for tools which may become very efficient for further expansion of this cooperation. I'm not really I was not joking, saying that we have important speakers. I'll introduce them. They are now here, and you can see them. The first person who has been in youthful entrepreneur development is Dmitry Litvin. This is Rosmolodozh Business, Rosmolodozh Korea. The acting director of the strategic, Ruslan Makhmutov. The acting director of the Eurasian Economic Council, executive secretary, member of the Presidium, the Department of International Multilateral Cooperation and Integration, it's Sergei Mikhnevich. The Counselor of Vice Rector of University of National Research, Lyubov Kirienko, TENCHAT representative Mikhail Slobodinsky, business partner of beloved entity, Shashank Verma from India. And I want to applaud all of the guests, and we have online participation. Thank you very much for coming here. Thank you very much for making this long way here. And also, we have the Director General, Mohamed Ali Verteni, the Director of the Commercial Chamber of Tunis, and the Director General of Education, OBM, Omar El-Barbary, CEO of OBM Education. Dmitry, I know that Rosmolodozh Business is one of the leading venues and the initiator of the youth business development. I would like to speak with you about the development of young people entrepreneurship in Russia, because you are one of the basic institutes there. And secondly, I know that you have some experience in developing international cooperation of young people. How successful it is? What are the prospects as you see them? Dear colleagues, hello everyone. Thank you very much for this opportunity to speak at this very serious venue to raise our issues there. Answering your questions, Eldar, I would like to say that Rosmolodozh Business for many years has been the operator of the Russian program to develop the youth entrepreneurship. It started in 2021. It's a separate program. We operate this program, and our goals actually are to accumulate the events and the tools teaching young people professional orientation, acceleration. This is for young people who probably have already started or are thinking about starting some business activities. Speaking about our track, I would like to give you several numbers here in Russia. There are about 40 million people, young people, from 14 to 35 in Russia, and about 40% of them, in one way or another, have their own businesses. So we're talking about only the people in our country, within our country, and there are tens of millions. Another thing I wanted to mention is that the events that our track organizes, starting this year, finally, we covered all the territory of the country. We have completed several pilot projects, and now we cover all the territory. And we have some All Russia programs, which are represented in all the constituent members of the Russian Federation, and we're trying to aggregate all the mechanisms, all the events, all the activities, and most of, I would say, most of the support measures that we see from various governments, local governments and agencies and representatives of commercial structures and so on in our country that are supporting our program, our track, and young people. In order to, for us, one of the key elements of our community, because our community is, or you want to call it a club, maybe young people, in all the constituent entities of the Russian Federation, they are sort of like the carriers of all the, if you want to say, ambassadors of our ideas. And our ideas are that entrepreneurship is not just one of the occupations. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different type of thinking. And by definition, this way of thinking, and we're doing everything for it, thinking, it's the we want to make this world better. Financial numbers or our profits is for making our environment better and so on. So through business, these people are trying to form an environment of a very broad, active auditorium of young people. If we're talking about the focus, we believe and we make use of that belief that you can get self-realization through business. So we expand our borders and we show by our example how open our country is, how ready we are to participate in various activities. of foreign countries, foreign governments. Now, the second answering the second question, we have some background, some history. If you visited Sirius, you remember that there was the International Youth Festival, a very wide scope event with representatives of over 190 countries, and we had about 50 business events devoted to entrepreneurship of young people, and we were very happy that it was raised at the level of the intergovernment cooperation of young people. And number three, the initiative, among others, of some young people from our club, and some people who, thanks to the business track that we started last year, can get in touch with their business partners in the CIS countries. We created an entrepreneurship, international entrepreneurship, and our goal is to establish the cooperation of young people in business all over the world. And I think that we have some really successful cases having cooperation with young people in African countries, with Arabic countries. Mikhail, who is present here, they supported us very much because we managed to create a venue for cooperation. And I just want to invite all of you to join our community. And speaking briefly about the goals that we have, this is the tool which unites the passionate business youth in the Russian Federation with other business with the business foreign business partners. I would say it's globalization of our activity. Thank you very much, Dmitry. Thank you. That was a very interesting experience that you shared with us. And I want to ask a question. What is the difference when you develop international cooperation? Do you see any difference between cooperation within Russia and international cooperation? Is it integrated, or the mentality is different? Yes, of course, people are different, and the mentality, culture, even the culture of business activities. Well, a case, for instance, a young businessman, the president of our club, they have a family business. He and his wife are making ecological jewelry, and they went to Azerbaijan, but before the Azerbaijan partners started some dialogue with them, economic dialogue, they had a very serious cooperation about the values, the spiritual values, and so on. And it's very, actually, it's excellent, because for many of our business entrepreneurs, this possibility of interacting with other cultures, other religions, other values maybe, it develops and strengthen the belief in the entrepreneurship, and it shows multiculturalism, multinationalism. Thank you, Dmitry. And now we want to invite Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed is online. Mohammed Alikurtani.
Hello?
Can you hear this, Mohammed?
Yes, I am hearing you. Мухаммед, наверное, как никто знает.
Mohammed is probably the best person who knows about the cooperation between the entrepreneurs of various countries because he is the Director General of the Tunisian-Russian Industrial Chamber. So I want to ask you a question, Mr. Mohammed. How do you see the efficiency of this activity, the activity of this trade and industry chamber, Russian-Tunisian? What are the projects within this cooperation, and how does the chamber support the international cooperation development?
All right. First of all, I want to welcome everyone to the North African continent, exactly Indonesia, and especially Mr. Aider Boltov, chairman of the Boltov company, and Mr. Dimitri Litvin, head of Razmal Josh business, and Mr. Ahmed Bening, Secretary General of the Pan-African, and Mr. Tatan Taufir, President of National Youth Council Indonesia, Mr. Sergei Mikhailovich, Executive Secretary of Member of President of the Russian Business Council, Mr. Viktor Ivlev, Member of Management Board, Chairman of the Youth Company, Mr. Lyubov Kirienka, advisor of the Vice-Rector, Mr. Mikhail Solobinsky, Managing Partner of the Business Social Network, Mr. Omar Al-Barbari, CEO of OBM Education, and Mr. Shashank Verma, Business Partner of Belief. As you said, Mr. Aider Boltov, I am Warteni Mohamed Ali, General Secretary of the Tunisian-Russian Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Tourism, and also General Manager of International Trading Company, Sobresi, based in Tunisia. And from the inside, the bilateral economic relation between Russia and Tunisia are growing day after day due to the political decision of both sides. And replying for your company, in general, entrepreneurs search for the opportunity to expand into all possible and accessible markets. Especially in Tunisia, the majority of young entrepreneurs develop a lot on IT startups to find the financing of the project and also on the local market following the bureaucratics that it is in the country. But apart from that, there are young entrepreneurs in Tunisia, like me, who work to develop the bilateral market with the Russian Federation and increase the trade balance on both sides by working directly with Russian company and not bypassing through Western multinational to gain access to the market and who are responsible of the imbalance in the trade balance. And to develop the market between two countries, we must have two elements. The first is the transport, and the second is the payment. And I would like to underline the sentence that I just said.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed. To build on, I would like to ask another question. Speaking about our subject for today, interaction between which industries are the most interesting? What is the potential for the Russian entrepreneurs at the Tunisian market? And what is interesting for Tunisian entrepreneurs in Russia? Would you please break it down for us?
All right. From what I know, the Tunisian, of which I am a part, are always open to read and open and ready for winning investment opportunity. And I would like to mention, if I am not present, I am now present by video conference for this conference because I have a delegation of Russian businessmen to participate in Tunisian exhibition for agriculture with the partnership of Rosbesmatch to develop access to Russian product on Tunisian territory, and why not to make a factory for agriculture component? And I think it's the best answer to your question.
Да,
Yes, your point is understood, and we see what your goals are, and we will be very happy if you make it happen. And as Dimitri mentioned in the beginning, there is a specificity in the mindset. Mr. Mohammed welcomed each and every one of us. This approach, this hospitality, this respect, this is the basis of the Islamic world, and you beautifully demonstrated it today. And we would like to set you free. You are having an important day, and hopefully today you will have all the tasks accomplished on your to-do list. And we will move on. We also have another online guest, Mr. Eli Barbari. Can you hear us? Please let us know. Can you hear us? Amar?
Да, nice to meet you. Вообще,
Traditionally, Egypt is an important region for cooperation, for economic cooperation of the Russian Federation. It's important in the international scale. And as I know, Mr. Omar El Barbari, you are a participant of educational market. That's why I would like to ask you a question. How your educational system helps to establish international cooperation nowadays, what your goals are as of now, and please evaluate the specificity and differences, maybe distinctive features, your national specificities in case of having difficulties in international cooperation.
Yes, thank you, dear, for this introduction. It's an honor to participate in the forum in Kazan. It's beautiful, the role in technological and educational innovation. Russia, my journey in the world of education has been driven by a profound commitment to adapt and tailor learning experiences to meet the diverse needs of young minds across the globe. Particularly during the last Ramadan, we imparted our significant expansion of OPM education into Saudi Arabia. Any strategic move of this was inspired by our dedication to understanding and integrating into different cultural landscapes, and to see our ability to customize our educational solution to fit any market. When you work with Generation Z in any countries, you need to know what the student's thinking about, what the youth thinking about this. We work closely with Generation Z for more than 7 years in Egypt, and when we thinking to go global, we must to sit with students, must to sit with a youth to know what's in their mindset. Generation Z is very, very, very fast mindset changing.
действительно, вот
Indeed, youth is the most dynamic and the most mobile strata of our population, and the state student exchange programs is a wonderful foundation to develop international economic cooperation. Myself, I remember, we were a part of these exchange programs. We were visiting international universities, and other countries' representatives visited us, and we were thinking how to launch their projects in different countries that we visit. Also, I wanted to ask you, in Egypt? Do you have the student exchange programs in Egypt? Does your state, does your government support such student exchange programs so the students can gain other business experiences like business missions, to have such cross-border experience and integration of Egypt in the international cooperation, especially for the youth?
Yes, for sure. I'm one of the participants of World Youth Forum, World Youth Festival in Russia in 2017. My idea of OBM education is integrated more and more, and I see different cultures of people and the different knowledge of people. I visited Innopolis University in Kazan, by the way, and Egypt government told me to go to Russia to participate in this event and to have a tour in IT Park like Innopolis and different cultures. We already have exchange program with more than 40 countries closely year. Ministry of Youth and Sports announcing this for all our youth to exchange their ideas, to exchange their experience, and to share more and more about the youth development strategies in the world.
Да.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we are really happy that you visited us. And now we are waiting invitation to us. In Sochi, you have Red Sea bank is so extended, so we can expand the scale of our youth forum. We will be happy to see each other at your motherland. And we are moving on, and let's move to our audience, to the floor. And I would like to give a floor to Mr. Shashak Verma. He is a business partner to Belaf Ltd company. And my question is on cooperation as a part of Eurasian Economic Council. Would you please share with us what contribution is made by the Eurasian Economic Council in the development of international cooperations? What are the areas of cooperation? And what is your engagement, and what are the results that you can see?
Thanks for inviting me. I'm very late to come here. This is my second trip. I visited the World Youth Festival first time in 2017. Hello everybody. Thanks for inviting me. I'm elated to be a part of this prestigious forum. This is my second visit in Russia. I visited first time in 2017 when I was a participant and as a youth delegate of World Youth Festival in 2017. So this is my second trip, and I'm really excited to be a part of this prestigious forum. And I believe that there are a lot of opportunities out there to cooperate with Russia and Islamic countries. And in youth entrepreneurship sector, we have opportunity like health and wellness sector, food security and nutrition security, because this is a contagious topic of today's world, because we are facing climate change and other similar challenges around the world. And so I would like to address this problem through the opportunities we have. Another point I would like to address, that sustainable development we want to promote in these areas like Russia and Islamic countries. India has a lot to offer. Now Indian government is promoting the millets very significantly, and it's a drought resistant crop, and it requires less water, and it is far more better than rice and wheat. So we would like to promote this nutri-cereal. And last year United Nations had declared millet super grain, and they celebrated the International Year of Millet 2023. So Indian government participated and proposed that it should be organized worldwide, and we successfully organized, and we celebrated all over India and the world. So I would like to highlight the benefits of millets, like economic benefits, environmental benefits, and all other benefits like health benefits. So this nutri-cereal requires less water, and it doesn't require any pesticide, fertilizer. When you use chemical fertilizer and pesticides, your water, your earth is getting poisoned. So we need to get away from it, and by implementing, by promoting, and by diversifying the crops to millets, we can unleash the potential of these nutri-cereals, and we can harness the benefits of this particular crop. So this is my humble request, that we should integrate this in our system, in our food system with Russia, because Russia has a different cuisine and very vast and varied variety of food. So we want to integrate this particular crop with your food system, and we can, harness the benefits of this nutri-cereal. And another point I would like to address, Ayurveda. It's an ancient medical science, and it promotes health and well-being, and it integrates mind, body, and spiritual well-being of a person. And it uses herbal medicines, and it uses animal products to cure the diseases. So this is the another aspect I would like to touch upon, that we need to move away from traditional medicine, which is based on chemical and synthetic based medicine, so that we can increase the longevity of a human person. Now our ancestors used to live hundreds of years. Now the lifespan has reduced from 100 to 60, 70. Now young people are getting heart attacks all of a sudden, and people are using a lot of steroids and a lot of synthetic products. So we need to go back to the nature, and we need to promote these gift of nature. So we have a lot of things to offer to the world, and especially we would like to establish synergy between Russia and India, because Russia is a time-tested and long-standing partner with India, and they have helped us in a very difficult time since the independence of India. So we have a very long-lasting relationship with Russia, and we want to promote it further, and we want to increase our trade with Russia also and the other Islamic countries. So I would like to end my speech with this, that let's embrace this golden grain millets, and let's integrate the ancient medical science that is called Ayurveda. Thank you so much.
Да.
Shashank, thank you very much indeed. You came to Russia, and Russia is so willing to integrate new crops. We had the corn boom, and I believe your ideas will find reception here, and the model that you proclaimed about export of national unique concepts like Ayurveda is very interesting. You mentioned Ayurveda and Indian cuisine. This is very popular in Russia already. We have so many Ayurveda centers, and Indian cuisine is popular. Each and every city and town in Russia has Indian restaurant. And along with this concept development, we see entrepreneurs from India, they come and mainstream it here in Russia. And do you really consider Ayurveda as a product to be exported, that the government can support to replicate it in other countries? Can it become a foundation for our international cooperation? Like cuisine, non-traditional Ayurvedic medicine, what is the role of your government in expansion of export of such key landmark elements of the Indian economy and culture?
Basically, Indian government is aggressively promoting these things. Like last year, we celebrated International Years of Millet, and it was widely celebrated in all over the world. Like UN has declared that as a International Year of Millet. So we have already been promoting these events, and now they are promoting young entrepreneurs to come into this new field and try to persuade farmers to switch from rice, wheat to millets, because it's a cheaper to grow, and it requires less amount of water, and it doesn't require any fertilizer and pesticides. So it is very beneficial for health, and we can integrate with your food system. So you don't need to change your food system. Your food system will be the same, but ingredients we will provide. So your chefs will use this grain, and they will create so many recipes like pancakes, different desserts, different, recipes they can create. And we can, organize the event where Indian chef and Russian chef combine. They will create different cuisine, Russian and Indian cuisines, and we will, promote this idea. And you will feel because I bring something for you guys, and I will make you experience how it tastes like. So you will feel after this program. And Ayurveda, in terms of Ayurveda, there are many challenges also. It's not like a one-way street, because this synthetic based medicine which is promoted by West, I am very direct. It has no benefits of human health, because I am the live example. I didn't visit doctor for last 7-8 years. I have abandoned fast food. I have already abandoned cold drinks. I don't drink cold drinks. I drink only fresh fruits.
Давайте поаплодируем, слушайте, вот это...
Let us applaud. Yes, you are truly a healthy lifestyle follower.
To say that I didn't take any injection in last 7-8 years. So I am pro Ayurveda person. I am pro any ancient medical system, whether it is promoted by Islamic countries like Greco-Arabic medicine, which we are already promoting, like this belief. They are manufacturing only Greco-Arabic medicine. So it's a very age-old ancient medical system which is popular in Arab countries, but not much research has been done on this particular medical system. So every country has its own medical system. I guess Russia also have some kind of ancient medical system, but it has been lost because now they have influence of these synthetic medicines, which has captured the market, and they are getting revenue. They are giving people synthetic medicine, and people are getting sick because it has a long term effects. So I believe that food is a medicine. If you are eating right food, if you know when to eat, how to eat, and how much to eat, so I don't think there is a need of any kind of medicine. And medicine will be there because people are not very conscious towards health. People only get conscious when they fall ill. So people are here, intellectuals, and they know how to take care of their health. But common people, I'm talking about the common people, they need education, they need
Господин
awareness.
Шашанг,
Yeah.
thank you. У нас, к сожалению, ограничено время, но мы готовы...
Unfortunately, we are limited in terms of time. You are a bright example of the healthy lifestyle man, and you have such an enormous energy that you shared with us today. And half of the forum will switch to the millet at the restaurant. They will ask for the millet meal. This will be the first step.
предпринимательство.
After we have discussed the youth entrepreneurs in foreign countries, we're getting back to the Russian experience again, Russian colleagues. I am probably head of the schedule, and it's a question for Sergei Mikhnevich. And I'm going to repeat that question. So what are you doing as a member of Presidium of the AAU? How do you see the perspective of the influence of this union? What are the problems there? We were talking about logistics and yeah. I was thinking here about the EU, and yes, you have lots of acronyms after your name, so you're doing a lot of things. Well, I just wanted to backtrack to the roots of this story, and we have the young people entrepreneurship session right now. So I'm going to focus on what we represent. Well, it's no secret. Oh, no, I'll tell it in a different way. It's the Polichinelle secret. Young people are the most active part of the society, and in business, the situation is similar, is the same, because the mainstreams are the same. We can see it because we see how the youth entrepreneurship communities are developing in the Eurasian Economic Union countries. And probably other speakers will have other focuses, but we are coordinating the development of youthful entrepreneurship in these countries, and my colleagues work with the earth, so to say, with people who actually create young companies, who create different new industries. Young people are very active in entrepreneurship, and there are lots of trends there, but I'm not going to enumerate all of them, but I would like to say that we see a trend towards innovations, innovative approaches, in order to solve traditional tasks. And that's really helps even in this difficult international environment that we're facing now. We have to make decisions within a short period of time, and the young entrepreneurs find ways to make these decisions. They're not only trying to find the correct way out of these difficult situations, but they do it with the profits for their businesses. Because, of course, we're not talking about social entrepreneurships, we're going about business entrepreneurships, and it's all about making money, making profits. So, and they have a will to victory, and they have lots of success. Of course, they sometimes fail. We need to understand that too, because it's no secret that experience, any child gains experience through multiple errors. That's why we need to treat errors with understanding. We need to learn from our own errors in Russia, in Russian business, and in our partners of the Eurasian Economic Union also demonstrated. So what are the trends that I can see for the future? One of the key tasks is to eliminate the information gaps, the deficit of relevant information about the possibilities and the conditions and the regulatory rules of cooperation. The situation is really funny nowadays because on the one hand, we have huge arrays of information which is available, but it's very difficult to find something that you need specifically for yourself, because you can have this vast amount of information, but you don't know what to focus on. And in this case, when I'm talking about the young entrepreneurs. Very often because we don't have enough experience, we sometimes miss some really bright opportunities of cooperation. And this is the problem that needs a solution. Another thing that I wanted to mention, which is connected to the first one, it's to forming diversified ties with your partners and making use of it. Sometimes you want to do everything yourself. You think that you have a bright idea, and of course you're going to win all the market. You're going to be the winner here. But you need to understand how to work with it. You need to take into account your competitors, other market actors, and you need to know how to develop your ideas until the practical implementation. And of course you need to work with the regulators, the agencies which carry out regulatory activities. Government is not something that you need to be scared of. You need to work with the governments. You need to help each other. Government in our countries, of course, we have some priorities of development in our countries, and in many cases they are very close, they coincide or very close to the goals of the young business, and well, business in general, I would say. So it's very important to synchronize those efforts, because if the tasks are difficult, they call for joint solutions. And in this context, cooperating with the partners, you need to strive to work with the companies which have been in the market for many years, have experience, and they can share this experience. And they can also share the orders with you. They can also supply some orders for the young entrepreneurs. And when you gain experience, the young entrepreneurs, then they would use the resources in a more efficient way and use the market opportunities. And probably I can talk a lot about it, but another thing that I want to mention is development of adaptive support mechanisms for young entrepreneurs, because we've already, Dmitry already talked about Rosmolodozh business, and we have a business council, and our colleagues, me and my colleagues, we work on this. We just wanted also to support the creation of that young community of entrepreneurs, of young businessmen, which was launched during the International Youth Festival, because we see a very serious potential there, and we would like to support our colleagues in its implementation, because many things that they are carrying out, they are the same as what we are working on. For instance, eliminating the deficit of information. So, speaking with our partners, we are working on forming, let's call it like that, the Platform for International Youth Entrepreneurship. And this platform will also be involved in resolving these tasks. And of course, it will be synchronized with the activities of our relevant government bodies. And we also need to take into account our own unique qualities. We want to help our young colleagues to resolve this task, working with specific practical projects, from ideas to practical implementation of a certain product to a full-fledged project that can be proposed to your potential partners, maybe those who want to participate in implementation of this project, launching this project into market, or some potential investors or creditors of this project. So we propose cooperation with financial organizations, and of course, summarizing, I would like to say that in this work, of course, we're going to be supported not only by the resources and the possibilities within our countries, but we also want to work with our international partners. We are already working with our international partners. We want to further our efforts in this aspect. Thank you very much. That was very interesting, but I would like to say something, to ask you something else. So the youth entrepreneurship, it's dialectic. On the one hand, they are very active. On the other hand, they have limited resources because they're young entrepreneurs. So in our educational project, we see that this lack of funding brings about a lot of errors, mistakes. So what are the criteria for launching your project successfully into the, let us say, the space of the Eurasian Economic Union, for instance, or probably other foreign countries? What is your advice? Do you need to grow first domestically and then to go abroad, or where can you get resources? Even if you, for instance, take business trips, it's like hundreds of thousands of rubles. Yes, but you've already answered partially your question yourself, because first we need to start with, for instance, we need first of all to sort of try the idea here domestically, because it's very seldom the case when the idea and the project can be implemented internationally. First, they need to have some trial run domestically, and the cause of it is very simple, because when you go abroad, you are working sort of outside of your own domestic regulatory system, and all operations in the foreign markets, your costs are going to be higher than domestically, well, with some exceptions, of course. So the first step, of course, is to work out some idea and implement it domestically, first of all. So first, focus on the own understanding of this idea. If you're building a business model and you want it to be efficient, so it should be if you think that you are going to be supported by some mechanisms of government support, that's wrong, because there are lots of good ideas, there are a lot of young entrepreneurs, so don't count on them, because then you can fail, actually, and you'll have to repeat many first steps. So first of all, you need to base yourself on the self-depending business ideas. But you've already mentioned something, which, for instance, about diverse forms of, let us say, mild support, not hard support like when you get resources, but mild support, which is aimed at, for instance, eliminating the information gaps, subsidies, mechanisms for participating in various exhibitions, and fairs. That's a different story, of course, and that may help. It may help to scope up the business, not immediately, but it will help. And of course, it needs a lot of attention. And you need to work with the government bodies in our country. It's Russian Export Center, and you need to learn about all the spectrum of all the tools. They are not very difficult to get, because there are situations sometimes, there are people who are potentially can use some of the mechanisms, but they think that they cannot do it. The mechanisms are not available to them, and so they don't look this way. And then they, when we tell them that you need to look at it, then they apply, and they really get financial supports, and they also reduce their costs. So there are three parts of success is based on. First, a good idea, which can be developed in the internal market. Then efficient communication with the agencies that can provide support tools. And of course, number three is the readiness to adapt, flexibility, agility, the ability to change, to transform your ideas under the influence of the new challenges. You remember the Darwin theory, that it's not the strongest who survive, but those who are flexible and can adapt to the changes. So that's an interaction. Sergey? If we had more time, we would speak about it, yeah. But we can really continue our discussion of this session, because that's a very interesting experience, very unique inside the AU, because you have really very many tools and mechanisms inside it. That's very interesting. So probably it calls for another session. And right now, I mentioned several times that education is very important here, and we have Lyubov Kiriyenko with us. This is the advisor to the vice president of the National University of Research, and this is one of the leading educational institutions, not only in Russia, but international as well, because it has very many programs. People can major in many areas. So you've heard that young people are very active. Integration is within the educational system and so on. What do you do in the School of Economics? Thank you very much, dear colleagues. I'm very happy to be here with you. I just want to share a part of what we're doing now. Of course, we support this story that young people are always the most active part of society, the easily changeable part of society. They want changes. And for the last several years, 6 years to be exact, we've been involved in developing a project as the All-Russian of students' expeditions. Let's open Russia again. And why do we think that this is really important? The cultural exchange, the development, entrepreneurship of professional competencies. How can we impact it through our students' expeditions? We implement this project. First of all, domestically. Last year, we had one first pilot with Armenia, when there was the first program of expeditions between Russia and Armenia, and we want to raise the scope of our program. We want to invite the colleagues from other countries, and we see that A lot of young specialists lack the opportunity to show themselves during the educational process, but during the expeditions, which are practical, we get requests from regions, from business, from institutions, and so on, about some task which needs to be resolved, and they want to give this task to the young specialists, to our students. The students are under 30, they're really young professionals, and during this expedition, the colleagues, they form the solution together with their mentors, and they can actually put it into their portfolio. And what we see in the practice, these people who visited this or that region understand the culture much better, and they feel that they participate in this product in this region, and they also very often find jobs or they develop their projects in the territory that they visited.
Over the course of 6 recent years, we've made more than 420 exhibitions, 5,000 participants, 50 participating universities within Russia. And we have 2 major pillars when we select tasks, and you are invited to join us, and we select the best students who will become a part of this exhibition, and they will leave such a heritage afterwards. Also, I would like to mention the key areas, the topics where we work with: education, culture, environment, science, and urban territory development. And this slide shows the key focus areas for us that we cover within these students' exhibitions. We develop apps, we do different types of aerial survey, and we also do beautification of the areas. We have so many architects, urban architects. We also tackle educational tasks. We have so many requests on experience sharing from the regions. And today I'm not alone. I'm accompanied by my colleague Maria Ratinskaya, and I would like her to share about the 2 exhibitions that are directly related to the Islamic culture. And we implemented several projects last year. This year we're also planning to develop this activity further. Thank you very much for giving me the floor. Yes, hopefully I'm audible. We can hear you. And I'm happy to present 2 projects related to the Islamic world. One project is research and roads of Bashkortostan. We studied Sufism, the historic memory of Sufism. Students from all over Russia who knew Turkish and Arabic and Tatar and Bashkir languages, they were brought together searching for historic monuments. And one of the best findings was the collection of manuscripts written in 19th century. And they also received the permission to digitalize these ancient manuscripts, and they will continue their scientific research. And we prepared these projects. We organized preliminary courses on theology, Sufism, and fieldwork practices. This is a research project. Another, more like practical project. When the students from all over Russia, they traveled across Northern Caucasus Republic, and they were shooting videos, not just classic tourist videos. They wanted to reflect the local mentalities and local traditions. It was a deeper task, a deeper dimension. And we believe such an experience gained by the students, by the youth coming from all over Russia. And we want students to come from other countries as well, and to take a different angle on the regional life, to have a deeper understanding of the culture. This is the road to put together international youth communities and develop their mutual activities. Thank you very much, Maria. And I would like to add that as we implement our projects, we see how interaction and attitude to different cultures is changing in our youth. This is a great instrument, great tool for the students to practice, and through this educational and practice-oriented experience to learn other cultures, to learn other cultural specificities of different peoples, both inside Russia and abroad. It would be great if by joint efforts we could expand our geographical footprint. It's very interesting indeed, and the topics are so relevant to our international Russia Islamic World Forum. We can add one more area of cooperation: travel. Tourism. Tourism is, you have 6 major areas, and tourism can be another, the 7th area of cooperation for you. Entrepreneurship and tourism. And tourism is a part of all these blocks. Entrepreneurship and tourism is inside all these blocks. And just don't forget to tell that this idea was originated at our Russia Islamic World Forum, which will be really pleasing for us. And now we are moving on to the online technology. In the youth entrepreneurship, we have a fascinating case, one of the most breakthrough cases, and social media, and which is an active tool. First, it was operating in Russia. Now it is operating abroad. This is TenChat. Mikhail Slobodinsky, he is a managing partner of the TenChat social media. Mikhail, please share your experience and why the TenChat managed to reach the federal and international level. What is the secret of your success? I'm an expert. There are dozens of such platforms that come to the market annually, but you kind of succeeded. Thank you for asking this question. Why we managed to reach this level? We are planning to build an infrastructure campaign which will last for decades, and we are planning like 30-year horizon. And Dmitry is dealing with the young people from 14 to 35 years of age. For us, they are not young people. In 20 years, they will stop being young. And Lyubov also deals with already established entrepreneurs, and we are working with the children. We need to work with the children. As McKinsey says, 26 innovations die inside the companies because they are not treated seriously, like Kodak company, where engineers have come and they say, we invented the digital photograph, and Kodak said, we already have 90% of the film market, and your big 16-pixel pictures are of bad quality. But Kodak failed. We don't want to follow this Kodak example. So they adapt the world to the new technologies, and technologies adapt the impact of human beings, and it goes on and on and on. And all of us present, we understand what AI means, and Copilot, OpenAI for .0, but in fact we are are not ready. The more laws are still working, still effective. Every 2 years, our devices, they have twice as much capacity. And it will bring us to the singularity point where we will have AI in each and every device. Any device, it will be cheap in the door, in your bed, in your kettle. AI will be present. They will be talking through Internet of Things. And what will happen then? Have you ever tried to talk to Alisa, and you will be talking to your kettle, to your door and kettle. You begin to trust. It will start to be your closest friend. Maybe in the evening I will talk to my kettle and I will just explain, pour out myself to him. And if we each one of us in our organization will have to put ourselves inside the kettle, because the kettle is the item that the users have trusted. And it's not a secret that in marketplaces many goods are advertised via generative AI. AI draws pictures, makes comments. There is a service. And what if each one of us has AI and we feed all the information about ourselves, and AI will be reading the comments, and they will choose the items, goods, and leave their comments. In some time, 90% of the traffic on internet will be written by AI. Not the people will be exchanging messages, but different AIs. As a social media, we have a plan to survive within 30 years. And previously, it would have been thousands of people. And now people present online, not physically. But we are talking, we will be sending our digital avatars. It's one of the last forums for us. And we know what the Eurasian Economic Union is doing. And we know what the Union and the Council are doing. And we will be able to set parameters, and I will generate everything. We are heading there. And who invited this guy to the forum? He is a doomsday prophet for our forum. But in the kettle, we will have a social media living, and each one of us receives 4,000 advertisement messages throughout the day. We will have trust in the friend, in our kettle. All e-commerce will be merged with social media, and that's why we are building a social media which is a marketplace at the same time. In the world, we don't have a B2B market. We also have just AliExpress B2C, and we want the young guys from India selling healthy food, not just a corporation. SMEs from India that don't know what the customs formalities means. They don't know how to deal with these logistics problems. So using our marketplace, they can sell B2B across the world. This is a B2B platform. And what are the people to be engaged? Let's see the classification of the people. We have Islamic world, we have Hindu world, and other worlds. In any world, people will always want to be happy, healthy, rich, and other key parameters. So they divide their life in leisure, in gaming experience, it can be sports, and they have a business life, work. First of all, we are about the business part of life. We're business social media. Then differences come in the picture. And we have cultural and religious differences. And we need to tackle with it. And the new generation come, the guys, the the further customers of Dimitri and our customers. We know that the youth, they are grown with their gadgets in their hands, and the next generation will grow with AI. They will not keep anything in their brain. Photographs are in a cloud. Any knowledge is accessible through AI. English language, don't have to learn it. Everything is at your disposal. And what do you keep inside your brain? Emotions. And these will be generations of much greater emotional intelligence than us. We already have jokes that Z generation, they come to the office. I cannot come to the office because my pumpkin latte is not there. They are different. Emotions, this is more important for them. We need to deal with it. And we are about the business. We are from the business world, and from 14 to the retirement age, we see what is happening with the business activity of humans, and we are building B2B market, and it will offer the capital market. You will be able to find investments both for the Russian and international companies, startups. If you are an investor, you can reach a global market, the labor market. We have special services like headhunter services, and through the agents. You are not just advertising that there is a vacancy and I need an employee, but you digitalize the social connections. Why do we need social media? Each one of us received a call. I have a good girl and she's an accountant and she's looking for a job, and please send this her CV. Maybe I will apply it, maybe I will use it, but we make it like an agency network. All the users are converted into HR agents. If you close this vacancy, we will pay out 50,000 rubles, 50K, and each one of you reading this announcement, there is an accountant needed, you will see it, so it will be digitalized with AI engaged. We will connect international units so you can take part in the tender procedures. So in Russia we harmonized it, and we will connect other countries. The entire service that a businessman might need is there. We have all these units. It is connected to the international business, and LinkedIn, there is a corporation as they are searching for the best talents, and then they take them to the Anglo-Saxon companies. But we are building a different ocean. Each country which is connected to our platform owns 55% and keeps personal data of their users inside the perimeter of their country. So this is a B2B social network, social media. Two more things about our product. And currently, today we intended to sign an agreement that it will be a halal social media, but there is a problem at Kazan airport, and the other party failed to arrive. And in the social media, you can specify that you belong to the Islamic world, and you receive the filtered content. And if it's not halal, it will not come to Islamic people. So we take away the conflict situations where people of different cultures might misunderstand each other. So we avoid it. And also we have an institute of reputation. In Russia, it's a problem. The level of trust is the lowest. In Russia, it really hampers our business. and our mission is to establish the Institute of Reputation, to roll it over across the world, to scale it up. And so even the guests from Egypt, if they want to work with Russia or we want to work with them, how to verify whether they are reliable partners or not, we will provide this business data, this information, and can find out whether this business is reliable or not. So that this is a business reputation institution. It's a wonderful futurist-like message, very practical at the same time. And TenChart is one of a few that reached such results and turned out to be a dynamically growing network. And I watch it from day one, and the number of functions, functionality is expanding versus to what was in the beginning. I want to ask another question regarding our forum. International activities of TenChart, is it active? Do you have international deals? And is youth taking an active part in it? Yes, we have several points to be proud of. We are the only network allowed in Iran. And because we said you can keep your data inside your country, and Iran is happy without it. Social media is a cognitive arms of the future. Through social media, it's easy to make impact on the human minds. And we allow data not to travel outside the countries regarding the deals. And CIS countries, we do have deals with them. Culture is the same. We have a common language, and we will tackle it. You know how OpenAI tackles language problems, and in 1 year people will be talking in any languages. It's great to come up with a culture-oriented translator, because the perception of reputation is different. You are reputable if you're rich in another country. You're reputable if you are punctual and come on time to the meetings. So we need this cultural aspect. So far, active deals are concluded with Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan partners, and we are really proud of making a revolution that our communication will be based not on our coolness, but on coolness of our users.
So if you use it, then you'll read about your colleagues from the right, on the right and on the left. And it's really great. Thank you very much for being with us today, for preparing, and you are on time, different from your colleagues. Thank you for that. And in conclusion, I would like to say that, of course, there are opportunities in international cooperations, but there are risks. And I would like to ask this question to Ruslan Makhmudov. What are the risks? And he's the acting director of the Institute for Strategic Analysis and Forecasting. So what are the risks, and how can you reduce these risks? Well, you know, we're not about risks, actually. We can provide analytical reviews. We have some views on the cultural reflection of geopolitical processes that we're facing now in the world, but I would like to say a few words about our institute. We're involved in fundamental studies of all the social cultural reflexes in many countries, and there are changes due to geopolitical factors. There are different mechanisms of impacting this. Also, we study the religious transformation, for instance, Islamic transformation, under the impact from outside. And the third direction, we are the one of the projects of the Asian Development Bank, and we are looking at the cultural and social potential for the countries within the project. The project is Tsores in Russian, and you can look up the information on our website. And trend number 4, or direction number 4, is studying the numbers for the intergovernment cultural and social interaction between the countries, cooperation between the countries. So we have special indices, and we see the failures and successes. For instance, in the Eurasian project, which is very important for the business community, is the lack of communication between the countries, because, for instance, the logistics of air travel, Minsk to Yerevan, Yerevan to some other countries, it's impossible now, and it's a very important negative factor in developing the economic cooperation. Also, we study and we evaluate the attraction of the countries. There are 3 blocks: the economic attraction, political, and social cultural. So here I would like to dwell on what our session is about. I would like to speak about the social and cultural block. Even when you look at the name of our session, the first 2 words define everything that we've been doing now and what business is involved in. So the strength of communities. So what is the strength of these communities? Here we need to identify what is the nature of the business communication. Is it the chicken or the egg? So the chicken, it's the value paradigm of this community, which determines the vector of our relations, development of our relations, because you cannot develop your business if you just sit at the table at a restaurant with some person and just say, let's create a company. No, you need some cultural and social interaction. You need some system of coordinates. And for instance, in the CIS countries, Ukraine used to be the major partner in cooperation, but right now it takes the last place because of the lack of social cultural interaction. Also, there is the break between the West and the East in the relations. And of course, it impacts primarily the business projects because there is a rapid development or the transformation of the world community because of the digitalization, because we have all sorts of chats and other forms of communication, and of course it impacts the communication potentials of the countries, and it actually develops exponentially, but it shouldn't actually lead to the changes in our values. There have been a fight against religion in Russia historically, but historically all the confessions have traveled a long way, but they need to keep their identities, and that transhumanism and ecumenism that Europe is translating, will continue in Eurasia, because every religion, every confession has the same task: to keep their own faith, values, and the interreligious religious dialogue should determine our good relations, neighborly relations. Thank you very much, Ruslan. That was a very deep finalizing of our discussion, because the meaning, the sense is primary, and all the economic business relations are secondary, and any attempt to find some unity of the language through mechanical or internet or IT tools. What we have some models. We have national economic models that can be transformed, and we have the systems of education which allows to integrate the people or young people from various countries, and the High School of Economics, the experience of European Economic Union, they also maybe shared. I want to thank everyone for this productive discussion, because we covered various aspects, and it actually shows the strength of our community. So I wish our forum would become another place of force to develop our unity, to overcome our differences. Let us be prosperous, happy in our community. Thank you very much. It's just the beginning of the forum, and we'll have several days of active work in front of us. Thank you.